Welcome back to Cooking with the Kriks. Serge Krikorian.
Welcome back to Cooking with the Kriks. Finally, after a year hiatus, we're back.
We're back. That's right. We're back, and we're back with a vengeance, man. We're going to do a lot of fun things this season.
Absolutely. I'm super excited to be here today and be a part of the whole season as a whole. What are we doing?
Well, before we do that, we need to talk about a little bit about what you've been doing.
Last year, as you saw in the last video, I opened up a pizza restaurant. I was about to open up a pizza restaurant, and now we've opened it up. I don't know when this video is coming out, but it will soon be announced. We got rated one of the best pizza places in the state. So we're located in Bryant, and we're super happy to be here. And thank you for having me today.
Well, by the way, in case you missed it, this is my favorite middle son, Brian Krikorian, and I'm Chef Serge. And I'm so happy.
Favorite middle son.
Middle son, absolutely. Every time.
Every time.
Every single time, buddy. Well, today we're going to start and Brian is very good at the pizza making, and this is one of his crafts. So he's going to help me make some cheese.
Yes, we're going to make some fresh mozzarella today. And so what we have is this is just a cheese curd. It's one of the best companies out there, Grande, really good cheese. If you need some, just contact me. I can help get some, okay? But it's very simple. We get the curd, we break it into small uniform pieces. Like, we want to make sure everything in this pot is the same exact size, that way it melts evenly. Okay, from there we have a pot of water that's been heated up. It's at about 175 degrees. You want to make sure you're not getting too hot. 175 is about the maximum. You can maybe hit 180. And what you see right now is Serge is going ahead and pouring water around the edges of this container.
There we go.
And we pour it around the edges, that way it doesn't shock the cheese. When you shock it, because it's cold, we've let it heat up just a little bit to room temperature, but when you add really hot water to it, it's going to shock the proteins, which is going to cause the fat and whey to be released again, and we want to avoid that. Okay, from here, what's your next step?
My next step, we're going to let this sit for about 2 minutes, Brian, so that actually the temperature of the curds get a little bit higher.
Yeah.
And then what we're going to do after the 2 minutes, we're going to dump that water up and start the process again.
Right on.
All right.
Okay, so as we can see, we've let it sit for a while, and you can start to see that the cheese is coming
melting,
together.
Yeah. And it's melting.
Yeah, so we're good to move this and just discard it for now.
All right, we got this out.
Perfect. Move this over out of the way a little bit.
Go ahead and add your salt. You know what? Well, approximately how much salt do you put in here?
So it depends who you ask, by all means. For me personally, I use the Mediterranean heritage to my advantage and just salt until I feel good at that moment.
So you need to dump a little bit more salt? Is that what you
basically. But what you go for as in general is you want it to be as salty as the sea, as they say. That way it is going to start to absorb that as we start folding it in. Okay, from here, get a spoon. This is hot water, and all we're gonna do is try to make sure it's combined a little bit.
You want me to add a little bit more water?
You're good.
Okay.
And then as you can see, it starts to stretch, okay?
And the goal is to get it to knead and stretch. Stretch where it becomes really smooth, and all those little crumbles and all that you see is gonna be real smooth. There you go.
So every time you drop it, you see it starting to tear a little bit, which is totally okay. We're going to use this and fold it over on top. That way we can start making sure everything folds in and everything's incorporated. And you can see it starts to build more and more strength every single time we pull it. Okay, same thing. Sorry, I'm not used to actually using a spoon when I do this. We have to encourage safety first.
Well, if you want to go ahead and use your hands, go by all means.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because you know what? As long as you have 2 gloves on, you know, the water is not going to be really affecting your hands that much.
2 on each hand, just to be clear.
Yes.
Hey, as you can see, this has really started to thin out. It's building some really good strength. So we're about done here. Let's just get one more stretch and just See if we can get something really nice
Yeah, you're
looking.
getting really, really smooth. All those lumps and things like that are already gone, and as you can see, it's as easy as it can be.
And there we go. There's a nice cheese pull.
There we go. That is perfection right there, Brian.
Absolutely. We're just going to fold it up into a little ball. And what do you do from here, sir?
From here, all you're gonna do is just go ahead and get it one more little fold and try to stretch it a little bit. And depending on the size of the ball you want to make, you know, you basically stretch it accordingly. I just go ahead and fold it a couple of times.
Yeah.
Yep, one more time right here, and stretch. And go ahead and start balling it. Ball it. Oops.
And when he's balling it, he's tucking it under. That way everything starts to incorporate inside.
And then
you plop it in.
Plop it in and tear it up.
Perfect.
And go ahead and dump it in the water for you.
Oh.
All right.
We want
That water.
cold water.
Cold water. I'm sorry.
So when I'm doing this, I use my finger to push through, and as I'm pushing through, I then grab from the base, and use my hand to pinch it together.
Yep.
And then pull it off.
And you know the word, what does the word mozza mean in Italian?
Mozzarella.
Yeah.
Which is just the cheese.
Cutting.
As it is.
Cutting. The word mozz is cutting a piece of that cheese.
Okay.
That's what it stands for. There you go. Man, that's
So we're going to get a really big one to finish off. And as you do this more often, you can make them look prettier, but I only do this once every couple of months, so it's not as pretty. And the reason why we go from this hot water to this ice bath is we want it to start to cool down. This is going to allow it to tighten up a little bit. This is going to allow it to maintain its shape, but most importantly, it's going to stop the cooking process. We've heated it up, and as it cools back down, it's starting to get more stable where we can actually start to use it with our food.
And generally, how long do you think you need to keep it in the water before you start using it?
It's really, technically, I could sit here and just grab this and eat it right now, which is totally okay. But have it in there for just a couple minutes. That way it just starts to cool down. We're looking to get it back down to about 70 degrees before we actually get it all finished. And you're going to want to point it at that camera
right
over there.
As you can see, it's very, very nice and creamy. And we're fixing to take a nice little bite and a little chewy. And that's what we want, that bite.
And the squeakiness.
The squeakiness, that is the most important. That's the difference between when you make it fresh or you get it at the store where it's been refrigerated.
I hope you can hear that. This is good stuff.
This is some really, really good. Cheers, Brian.
Cheers.